Negotiation is hard. It's the culmination of a deal that took maybe weeks or even months to bring home, and now everything hinges on making sure you get the discussion around pricing just right. It's also super scary and stressful as a seller. You're worried about giving away too much, or maybe not giving away enough. You're worried about your relationship with the buyer. Maybe you're even worried about how what happens here is going to impact your overall quota for the month or the quarter. On top of all that, you feel like you have to become a completely different person once you enter negotiation mode. But successful negotiations are the key to unlocking effective and successful deals. So what's your move? Do you do the discount double check so you can close the deal now? Do you stay steadfast in your pricing? Or maybe do you look to make an exchange of value in order to drive home the deal and make sure everyone's satisfied at the end? To answer these questions, I brought in my friend Todd Caponi, the godfather of transparent selling, to share how we can negotiate effectively to be able to close more deals faster and never get caught again in checking back in on the proposal hell.
Every for-profit company in the world, every one of them cares about one of four things. Oh, they care about all four. Number one is volume, so how much you buy. The number of products, services, licenses that you commit to. The more they buy, the better it is for you. Number two is the timing of cash. As it turns out, every company likes money that's for profit. And the faster you pay, the better it is for you and the companies you're selling to. The third one is the length of commitment. You want companies to commit to a longer period of time. The longer they commit, the better it is for you, right? And then number four is the timing of the deal or when they sign. Predictability is highly valuable to every for-profit company in the world. So if you really think about it that way, that's your opportunity to go in and really change the dynamic of a traditional negotiation by laying those cards face up on the table and saying, hey, here's the things that we're willing to pay you for in the form of a discount. This is the reality of how for-profit companies work, and when you do it that way, I'm telling you, the dynamic changes right out of the gate.
Now, those are the four levers, but when do you bring them up? Do you just start talking about it at the very end when you've got a proposal in their hands? Or perhaps is it something that you introduce earlier in the conversation? Well, that's what Todd refers to as being a transparent negotiator.
What I had accidentally stumbled on was this idea of, wow, if I actually play my cards face up and let the customer basically negotiate their own deal, it builds trust, it makes your deals more valuable, it makes them more predictable, and the upsell, cross-sell, renewal happens at a higher value too, which is really the whole goal.
Now, as a seller, have you ever been in a situation where to try and get that deal across the finish line, you just give away a discount of some kind? Maybe you say 10% off, 20% off, because you're trying to get that deal signed now. Well, it may seem like it's a smart tactic to get that deal over. However, it leads to this if you give a mouse a cookie syndrome. Here's Todd.
The irony of giving stuff away for free is that it actually slows down deals, doesn't speed them up. If I come to you and go, Raj, I need, instead of net 30, I need net 45, and you Tommy boy it and go, okie dokie. The second that you do that, the buyer is sitting there looking at it going, well, that was easy. What else am I not asking for that I can get? Right? And you just slowed down and eroded the value of the deal and the confidence that that buyer has in your structure. The minute you start giving stuff away for free because you don't care about it, because your comp plan doesn't say you should care about it, is the minute you erode trust and slow down those deals and make them less predictable. I think you've got to look at it from a holistic perspective of how the customer is viewing it. That they agree with your four levers because they're their four levers too. And when you lay them out that way, you're going to end up with more valuable deals. You're going to end up with more predictable deals, and you're going to build trust to the goal line instead of erode it. You got to believe that.
Now, this is a lot of information, and it might sound easy, but the reality is negotiating successfully is hard. Because, well, we're all humans, right? We're prone to error, we're prone to mistakes, and we're dealing with another human being about a potentially sensitive topic related to our pricing, how they might value our pricing versus their idea of cost, etc. And on top of that, in a traditional negotiation, there's so much pressure that we place on ourselves and that the company that we work for may place on us to try and close the deal.
Man, it always made me nervous to negotiate, right? Like I felt like that wasn't my personality. And this process of this four levers, like what I teach, it's meant to be so head-slappingly easy. And of course, we'd have reps whose sales experience was they had a lemonade stand in junior high, going out there and delivering it with confidence because now they had a structure, right? Without a structure, you're not confident. As soon as you've got one, you'll automatically feel it. When somebody asks you, like, hey, how do you price? Like, what's your pricing structure? You're able to deliver in that first conversation that, hey, our pricing is based on, let's say it's number of users or number of locations or number of visits to your website or whatever the volume is, right? You're like, hey, our pricing is based on that at its core. Then when the negotiation happens, that's when you can introduce it. Hey, as we talked about, pricing is based on how much you buy, how fast you pay, how long you commit. And there's actually value in our ability to predict our business. So the timing of the deal is really valuable. Let's use those as the basis for how we get down to that final number and get this thing inked.
Now, if you enjoyed these bits and pieces from Todd, you're going to love the complete in-depth conversation specifically on transparent negotiations that we had with him on the Sales Feed show. That's the podcast brought to you from Sales Feed, where we talk with leaders across revenue, ops, and marketing, and we bring them all together to have conversations specifically designed to help you live a better life in sales. Check it out now by searching Sales Feed Show on your podcast app or by subscribing at salesfeedmedia.com.